Good morning. It's Red Pill 66. And I have to finish off kind of where I started last night because I got interrupted and I don't even know where I left off. So, I think we'll start today with if you have a little bit of time, if you have not checked out Project Veritas with this CNN, with them secretly listening in on CNN's meetings with Jeff Zucker, who's the boss, and it's really kind of funny because they were listening over and over and over again to a lot of CNN's meetings, and it's showing that Jeff Zucker actually was telling people how to run stories, how they wanted different anchors and things like that, how they wanted things spun. And it's really kind of funny because after them listening for a long, long time, Project Veritas actually, and I'm just having a brain fart right now as to why, I can't remember what the guy's name is. I just don't know right now, but he actually unmutes his line. Oh, James O'Keefe. Yeah, that's it. He unmutes his line and asks, is Jeff Zucker still there? He says, yes, I am. He goes, well, I'm James O'Keefe of Project Veritas, and I just want to let you know that we've been listening to your meetings. And Jeff Zucker says, well, thank you for your questions, and we're going to have to find a different way to do these meetings. And it's just really, really funny. So, Project Veritas is going to release quite a few of these different tapes. Well, apparently, Newsbusters editor Tim Graham enjoys the latest secret tapes of CNN executives as recorded by Project Veritas. The boss, Jeff Zucker, thinks their only sin is not being rough enough with Republicans. Associate editor Scott Wilcock joins Tim to discuss the utter lack of comedy among late-night comedians like Colbert and Kimmel as they ogle Obama and mock Melania. I'm gonna play this. I don't know how well it will come through. And I don't know if it is free to share, but we'll try and see how it comes through. All right, are you ready for some fun?
Welcome to the Newsbusters podcast with the executive editor of Newsbusters, your host, Tim Graham.
Hello, and welcome to Newsbusters HQ, where we hold the media accountable for their flagrant, shameless liberal bias. The most regular criticism we have gotten over the years from people is they go, well, you call out bias, but you're biased. Yes, we are, but there's an obvious difference. We offer no pretense. We identify that we are conservatives. We don't call ourselves the most trusted name in news. and then use it to shamelessly hammer an agenda. This is CNN. So let's start with the latest secret tapes from James.
Now this is actually pretty funny. So I don't want to get a copyright infringement, so I am going to pause it back and forth while we just listen. And it's going to get really, really funny. You ready?
James O'Keefe and Project Veritas. It turns out they were given a conference call number to listen in on the network's 9 a.m. rundown calls with Jeff Zucker, the president of news. Now, we all love the idea of turning the tables on the media, who absolutely hate transparency. We love embarrassing them in the same way that they mercilessly enjoy embarrassing conservatives and Republicans.
And CNN is awful. And they don't actually allow conservatives to have a voice. They shut them right down. They speak over them. They say the nastiest things about anybody that supports Donald Trump.
I think the challenge for the secret tapers here is how different does CNN sound in private than they do in public on TV. Clearly the sound of Jeff Zucker seems to be exactly the same as the sound of CNN on TV, for example. Zucker says in one of these calls, "I think we cannot normalize what has happened here in the last week with Trump and his behavior. This is a president who knows he's losing, knows he's in trouble. He is sick. Maybe he is on the after effects of steroids or not, I don't know. But he is acting erratically and desperately, and we need to not normalize that." Now, this to me is something you could say in 2020. It's also something you could say in 2019 and 20.
So, Jeff Zucker is saying that Trump is sick. There's something wrong with him. He's all over the place. Of course he's all over the place, because he's getting hammered from every direction, and this has been going on since he got in office. Freaking crazy, I'll tell you.
2018 and 2017 and 2016. This is the language that CNN uses, that they're always saying, we can't normalize Trump, as if that could be accomplished. I mean, I think his whole objective is to be the opposite of normal. But my favorite quote from Zucker is about Senator Lindsey Graham, who is...
Okay, now, I'm not a Lindsey Graham fan because he was a great friend to John McCain, and John McCain was a rhino and a lying piece of crap. Once John McCain passed, it was almost like, passed away, I'm sorry. Lindsey Graham grew a set of balls. Well, he cuts those balls off over and over again. And he's as much of a sleaze as any other rhino out there. So are you ready?
It's not related to me. There's a lot of graham crackers out there, but Zucker is saying, this line just kills me. Frankly, if we've made any mistake, it's that our banners have been too polite, meaning their screen graphics. Their banners have been too polite. Is he kidding? I mean, there's a whole sport out of mocking their snotty, we call them chyrons, that's the technical TV term. They're banners. They're very biased, blatant banners. Curtis Houck has this tactic of always saying Chiron boys trying to get laid. I don't...
Anyways, I'm not going to go too much further with that because it is a 30-minute podcast. But if you are interested in it, and the Podomatic actually has this, but it's MRC's Newsbusters podcast. And it's actually, these guys are actually pretty good. And like with anything else, they tell you that they're a conservative. And they put it right out there. They're not like CNN that says they're the most trusted source in the media. Yeah, they've been lying for a long time and faking a lot of things. So anyways, we'll get out, we'll leave that one alone right now. Then we have, according to the Epoch Times, they're breaking news. Thousands of ballots were scanned numerous times in the Dominion machines. Contractor witnesses in Michigan. Okay. So, according to the Epoch Times article today, and this one was written by Isabel Van Bruggen, December 3rd is the date on the article. There was a Dominion voting systems contractor who worked at Detroit's TCF Center on Election Day testified before the Michigan House of Oversight Committee on December 2nd that she witnessed at least 30,000 ballots being counted numerous times in the Dominion machines. Melissa Carone, a freelance IT worker who assisted Dominion at Detroit's ballot counting site from 6:15 a.m. on November 3rd to 4 a.m. the next day, before returning later for several more hours on November 4th, said in an affidavit on November 10th that she witnessed nothing but fraudulent actions being taken. Nothing but fraudulent actions being taken. The affidavit was submitted as a supplement to the lawsuit that was filed in Michigan. She observed city workers running batches of ballots through the tabulators countless times without discarding them first. Carone said Wednesday, responding to a question from President Donald Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, about what she observed while working at the center. Carone said that the tabulating machines would jam 2 or 3 times an hour. She explained that the proper way to scan ballots when there's a paper jam is to reset the count on the machine, or in other words, discard the count and rescan all of them with the jammed paper on top. Instead of discarding them, they were just rescanning, Carone said, counting ballots 9 to 10 times. Carone noted that there were approximately 22 to 24 tabulating machines where she was working, and she observed malpractice thousands of times while she was on the site. Now, I'm not going to go read any more of the article because this particular writer should get credit for this article. So go to the Epoch Times, look up the article that says thousands of ballots were scanned numerous times in the Dominion machines. Contractor witnesses. And it was by Isabel Van Bruggen. I may have said her name wrong, but I was never good with names. But I watched a little bit of this yesterday. And there were two Democratic committee members who were just brutal with everybody, accusing them of lying, of being racist. Now, when you sign an affidavit, you're signing an affidavit for penalty of perjury. It needs to be true. If you sign an affidavit, you can be charged. If you lied, you can be charged with perjury and go to jail. These people are just awful. Well, this particular person, Melissa Carone, said she's lost everything because of her testimony. She's been threatened, harassed. She doesn't have a job anymore. She can't find a job. She had to move. She's been threatened. Her children have been threatened. What is going on here with this corruption of people being threatened because they testify? What is going on? That is just outright scary. And what does that show you? It shows you that the people that committed this fraud, they don't want it out there. They're panicking. It makes no sense as to any other reason why they'd be doing this. And what's scary is that they keep doing this kind of stuff and nobody does anything about it, it'll never end. What kind of country are we living in where you cannot testify to the truth of what you see? Stand up as an American that you witnessed fraud in these counting centers. People have been beaten up. There was a Dominion whistleblower who is not going to testify now because their life has been threatened. Their life has been threatened. We're not in America anymore. We are in a third world country. And if the left wins this election, it's only going to get worse. They're going to shut us up. They're going to delete us from different platforms. They're going to try to shut down platforms that allow conservative talking. Like, Twitter's banning a lot of people, but a lot of people that left went to different places like Parler and Gab and just a bunch of different platforms. DLive, Twitch, Pill.net, all these different places where you can actually get content that's, it leans right, but they're telling the truth. And they're not harassing people. It's just the craziest thing I've seen in a long time. People that think it's all right, that this kind of stuff is going on, you need to be checked in somewhere and have your mind reviewed. Maybe you need to be on medication because you're sadistic if you think that this kind of stuff is okay and that your candidate can win an election through people being bullied. Since when does the party of the left say, oh, we're peaceful? Everybody needs to be treated properly. Say nice things. But they don't. They say the most vile, horrible things about people. You fight back, you get deleted. It's not right. we are not living in America, are we? Are we being fooled? I think we might be. This is why it's so important that Donald Trump wins again, and that we have control of the Senate, and that we have taken more seats in Congress, because we can't go to the left more than what is going on. A lot of stuff that's going on now is that the deep state is kicking and screaming. They want power. And they're losing their power. And they don't like it. They have been trying to get Donald Trump out of office since the day he was nominated. Since the day he was president-elect. They have been working on trying to get him out of office. Well, I'll tell you. This turns out how I hope it turns out. He is going to release the Kraken, as they say. People are going to be... He is going to clean house. He's going to take out all these people that have just been there within even his own administration, that have been just there fighting him tooth and nail, blocking him everywhere he goes. Any other Republican would not have, they would have kowtowed after this 4 years. Thank God he's a strong person. And he's the only one that can change this. I am just like horrified at the thought of somebody else winning. The other thing is, Sidney Powell's election lawsuit in Georgia gets an expedited appeal. And that would be awesome. 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 Also, Georgia Senate Committee holds hearings on election issues that started at 9:30 a.m., the Georgia Senate Committee on Government Oversight at 1 p.m., and the Georgia Senate Judiciary Subcommittee. Georgia's going to be overturned. I'm telling you, it's going to be overturned. Pennsylvania, I think that's going to happen too. Pennsylvania and Georgia will go to Donald Trump. Arizona's going to go to Donald Trump. In all honesty, I think in Michigan, there's going to be a problem because there's just so much corruption there. I don't know if they can overturn this. It may have to go to the Supreme Court for that. I think that when Donald Trump gets Arizona, Georgia, Pennsylvania, he will have enough electoral votes to go and be reelected. Now you have General Flynn and Lynn Woods talking about he needs to do martial law. And they're trying to send him messages that he needs to do that to get everything under control. I'm not a fan of that at all. But I think they need to get the military involved to stop these extremists from harassing, threatening people, allowing people to actually testify and that they're protected. It's gotten way out of control. and it needs to be stopped. So I am begging President Trump to do something to get this under control. I'm begging you. It's just unbelievable what's going on. Let's see. Anything else? There was an unhinged. A lot of stuff went on yesterday in Michigan. There was a woman, and I believe she is of Indian descent. And she just went off on some of these I don't know if it was who was it, the Senate or oh God, it just went by. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. On Wednesday night, Michigan witness Haima Colagarini, I'm having a hard time with the name, Colagarini responded perfectly when an unhinged Democrat accused her of lying. And she says, "You're allowing people to come in here and lie? I know they're lying." The far left Democrat shouted. "Representative, you are out of order. I've indulged you and we're gonna move on," responded the meeting chair. Rudy Giuliani fired back. "On behalf of my witnesses, I'd like to point out that every single witness we've presented here has sworn an affidavit as to all these facts." Before moving on, Haima chimed in with her final word. "Can I say something, please? If that's what you want me to do, I will do it. And I will still repeat the exact same thing. And I also want to say one thing. If it's a lie, it may change because a liar wants to have a liar has to have a lot of memory power. But if it's the truth, you can ask me in the middle of the night and it will still be the same answer." Every time somebody says anything, whether it's Congress, the Senate, the Democrats, the far left Democrats accuse people of lying. It's just, and they kill people's reputations. They dox people. It's not right. So this stuff needs to stop. It needs to stop. But I think I'm done here. I don't want to go on any further. Tested out some new equipment, and I don't know how well it worked. So we'll see how it goes. You have a wonderful day. I have to get ready for work, and we'll go from there. Thank you.